Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like everybody wants a hack for everything these days. There's like hack videos for days galore. So why not have a hack video on how to get the perfect credit score without spending $1? I thought it was a good idea. I guess we'll see how the video performs, and I'd love to hear what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you tuning in, and we're going to go through these hacks and we're going to knock them out. And please be sure to comment, because I love answering the comments, talking to you all, hearing your feedback, and keeping that engagement. It actually makes me very excited, because it's really weird, I know, and mortgages are so boring, but for some reason I think it's amazing, and I just am passionate about covering the top. So I am Stephanie Weeks. I've been doing this for 18 years, helping people with their mortgage financing, and my team would love to help you. We can help in multiple states. We're at weeksteam.com or 985-300-LOAN. All right, so hacks for getting the perfect credit score with no dollars. Now, if I can give you a hack and I'm giving it to you for free, I feel like that's like not even a double whammy, it's like a triple whammy, because everybody's trying to sell something, everybody wants to charge something, and so if we can do some hacks for free, let's get those done today. So the hacks are basically made up of the 5 elements, which are also having to do with the 5 elements that make up the credit score and what they're comprised of. So talked a lot about it in some of my lives and some of the other videos that'll be in the credit playlist. So not to bore you, I'm gonna go through them real quick right now. So in my other videos, I have a lot of videos about credit. I have a whole playlist about credit. We talk about what I'm about to say, so I'm gonna make it really brief and just give you the 5 elements that make up a credit score. I feel like we need that first in order to dive into all of the hacks. So the first thing and most important and biggest thing is payment history, which makes up 35% of your credit score. That is included in the borrower's payment history, with repayment of past debts being the most important factor. The second thing is credit utilization. That's 30%, another really big ticket item. This is a percentage of available credit that has been borrowed. The last 3 would be length of credit history, which is 15%, new credit or credit inquiries, which is 10%, and then credit mix, which is the last 10%. Credit mix meaning that you have a little bit of revolving, a little bit of installment, a little bit of mortgage, a little bit of variety to basically grade on. So I want to first talk about, with the hacks, some tips for maintaining your credit and your credit score. As you see, payment history is 35%. So some major tips would be things like set up auto payment, set up recurring payments. Even if it's to make the minimum payment, which if you have to do that to stay on time. But of course, you want to try to pay those things more than minimum payments to save as much interest as possible. The other thing you can do is set up payment reminders in your phone or on your calendar to make sure that you don't miss those if you're not on auto payment. And even if you go on vacation, in that instance, you might want to pay those things like 2 weeks in advance, right? Because you don't want to go on vacation and forget something and then have like a really big deal happen and you miss a payment. Another tip would be to reduce the amount of debt that you have. You know, if you can, in the perfect world, you use your credit cards, use their money for free for 30 days, the bill comes in, and you pay the bill in full to avoid any and all interest charges. That's the best way to treat that. And when it comes to other tips and other hacks, it's so important to make sure that everything on the credit is right. One way you want to do that is annualcreditreport.com once a year, all 3 bureaus. You get no scores, don't pay for them, just take the free reports. Print them out. Go through line by line and page by page. Make sure your employers are right, the dates are right, your address history is right. Make sure that the accounts are correct. Sometimes you'll close an account, it'll still show open a year later just as an error. You might have paid a bill on time and it's showing late. If you do that once a year, then you can catch those things. Name variations. When it comes to mortgages, the name is everything, right? And so we had one this week where he applied as a junior. One credit bureau has him as a junior, one credit bureau has him as a second, and one credit bureau has nothing. So to call him and say, what does your social security card say? And it was nothing. So those are things that you would fix on your credit report, name variations. Make sure they're correct. That's one way, that's one piece. I feel like that's an absolute must. You have to do that once a year. And then if you get one of the free apps, don't pay too much attention to the credit score because they're not giving you a mortgage credit score. They're using a different grading scale. And everybody's always shocked when it's like, I thought I had a 725. You're telling me I have a 680. Well, that's because they're using a Vantage score. We're using a FICO. There's hundreds of models that are used to determine credit scores. So you want to make sure you're focusing on the one that applies to the loan that you're getting. If you're on this channel, that's probably going to be a mortgage in itself. So fixing errors, super important with that one time a year, and then getting that app so you can see things and correct them as you see them come in is another big tip as well. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to check credit reports for errors. We're going to pay bills on time. Let me define that for you. In the credit bureau's eyes and in a mortgage lender's eyes, on time means not 30 days late. So generally speaking, if something's due on the 1st, you might have a late payment penalty if you pay it late, but it's not going to be negative on the credit report unless you're 30 days late. So want to make sure that you're paying on time. You want to make sure that you reduce the amount of debt that you have, like I said. Keep those revolving accounts low, use their money for free for 30 days, and that's also going to help to build your credit score as well. Pay off your debt rather than moving it around. Listen, if you don't have the money, then you don't have the money and you do the best you can. But a lot of people play this credit card game. It's like, all right, I'm going to transfer this and do this and transfer that. You really just want to pay it off if you can, because a lot of times, even if you're transferring to a lower interest rate, they're going to charge you balance transfer fees, which a lot of times can be up to 5% of your balance, which can add up really, really quickly. Don't close unused credit cards as a short-term strategy to raise your scores. When you close accounts, your scores are very possibly going to drop before they start to build back up. So if you're working on something quickly to try to get your credit in a better situation to apply for a mortgage, closing accounts would be something you'd want to just tackle after you've closed on the mortgage and you already opened the home. Don't open up several new credit cards just to increase your available limits. That approach can backfire a lot of times. Do your rate shopping, always rate shop, and do your rate shopping within a short isolated period of time. That way you're not having a credit pull this month and next month and the following month because you're shopping rates. Try to do that within a 30-day period, or I really suggest within a week period if physically possible, would really be the best way. So pay your bills on time. Don't overcharge your credit cards. Don't close things that have been open for a long time. Set yourself reminders. Set yourself on auto pay. Like, these are all hacks that you can do that don't really cost money, that are going to get you to that perfect credit score. Be sure to check out my other videos on credit as well. There will be more to come. I think it's such a big and important topic. If we can help you in any way, please reach out. And don't forget to also check out my book and my course as well. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.